Hello and welcome to Rad Chat Live at UKIO. My name is Namanjul Anderson and I'm joined by fellow hosts
Joe McNamara.
So we've got another guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name's Jim Hughes. I'm a senior lecturer at Sheffield Hallam University. Which means I do work with Joe.
And how are you? Are you
Good,
all right?
thank you. Yeah, seems to have dried off after this morning, which, if you haven't made it today, was probably watching the podcast. The weather was dramatic.
Yeah, it was biblical.
It
I would
was.
say.
There was.
Liverpool. That's what happens here.
Yeah, it's right on the docks as well. It was beautifully gorgeous yesterday. But, it's fine. Mostly dried off now and a bit of trench foot, but that, you just got to get through that, haven't you?
You're in the right place.
True that.
So tell us what you're doing here at UKIO.
So I've done a presentation this morning about a study looking into the first experiences of diagnostic radiography students going into their clinical placement. Background for this is that a lot of sites aren't offering pre-enrollment clinical site visits and things like that at hospitals and so on anymore, because of everything from the COVID crisis and the continuing workload. So a lot of our students are getting their first actual taste of a radiography department when they first go out onto placement. And so we've been looking to try and just see how we can try and get their experiences, what's new to them, what stands out for them, and also do a kind of co-production in designing the teaching and the simulation blocks that we're getting before they start going out onto placement. I show anyone who's just sort of a lecturer is thinking like, okay, well, what do we cover in the syllabus before that first placement block? In an ideal world would be everything, but unfortunately it really work like that. Yes, it's a sort of balance between covering the basics and overloading and giving them enough experience that they get something out of it and they're not just kind of thrown into it.
I think people don't appreciate how much you have to think about it. I mean, we say it for patients, we don't want to overload them at the beginning, but we need to give them that info.
Yeah.
Same with students, they need to know about everything safely before they go on placement, otherwise they're a liability.
No, absolutely, yeah. And especially now with the new HCPC standards getting, for first post competencies, getting a lot more into cross-sectional as well. So we have students who could have their second or third week of placement when they're completely new going into CT, which in a major trauma centre or something like that might be a little bit of an experience for them.
Yeah. So what's your research kind of shown?
So we're still in data analysis at the moment because analysis slightly kind of tripped over with other events in my life which I won't go into. So we're getting a lot of demonstration of some real reflection around events, but a lot of anxiety that people are feeling around interactions with patients and staff, and also being seen as a healthcare professional representative. One of the recurrent things we've got is people getting very worried about patients coming up and asking them questions, even if it's just really sort of basic stuff like where's the canteen or how do I go and pay for the car park, up to stuff more about their examinations and what's going to be happening for them. But we do see also that there's a lot of kind of reflection of the kind of release from the kind of anxieties that we go through this experience around it. We're also going to be trying to integrate a little bit more of our assessment practices and working with LPAD as well in assessment in our simulation block as well.
Yeah. What do you think from a clinical perspective you'd like staff to appreciate about student integration into that first clinical block?
It's a tricky one because when we're coming in almost sort of completely new, and like I said, for many of them it is their absolutely first experience. Dr. Hyde...
And actually experience of any kind of work.
For a lot of them, yeah. And we are getting, especially at SHU, quite a kind of younger cohort over the sort of recent years, shifting from fewer mature students. So even just the professional working aspect is quite a change. Dr. Hyde did a paper in 2015 where she looked into this, which was quite good, pre-pandemic also. We found at least a lot of our sites seem to be better at recognising that it's the students' first week, their first clinical experiences. So they've had some quite positive results talking about yes, I was welcomed in, they took us through it. Inductions at clinical sites run by the CLOs are very, very beneficial. So we seem to have progressed through that because that wasn't Emma's big findings are being thrown in.
With UKIO, how does it all tie in for you as students? Obviously Wednesdays where a lot more student learners coming in as well.
Yeah, I think we've got a couple of them said they were attending today.
Said they were.
Said they were. Not managed to find them yet, but
They're avoiding you.
the place is so big, yeah, so if they suddenly run down the escalators or something, because I'm going to chase them about their feedback.
Why do you think it's important to attend stuff like this?
I think it's great just to see the kind of, we can possibly, especially as a student, feel a little bit in the sort of small bottom end of sort of bigger experience and the profession and what's going on around it, and just seeing the kind of scale of it, and then interacting with your peers and seeing that there are people presenting their research, there are people looking for sorts of career progression, there are people looking to try and improve the student experience and things like that. Very encouraging.
Thanks so much.
Also the freebies.
Yeah, there's been some good freebies.
Yes.
We've got some stuff.
Yep. Breast lush bar.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Central wouldn't give me a hoodie. So
Oh.
that's fine, I can let it run out.
Well, thank you again.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Ta-da!